The Bible spends a great deal of time on eschatology, that is, the end times. But what about Islam? Does the Quran have anything to say about it? As Christians, why should we care? Well, you may not care, but the fact of the matter is, the pages of the Quran and the Sunnah and the Hadith tells us a great deal about something incredibly revealing that will shock you to the core. It states that Jesus was certainly a holy prophet, but only a man, not God, but that he is a descendant of Muhammad, not of David. We're not sure how that works, since Muhammad came centuries after the life of Jesus. They also reject that he died and rose from the dead, but rather rose while he was still alive, like the prophet Elijah. You may think this is a positive credit to him, but the fact is, it denies his death and ultimately denies his atonement for our sin. They say he is now with Allah and waiting for him to send him back. That's right, send Jesus back. Why Jesus? There are plenty of other prophets to choose from, right? Why him? So that when he shows up on earth, he can correct all the Christians who have misunderstood who he is for the past 2,000 years. Did you get that? And in Islamic eschatology, there are 3 signs of the end that include 3 men that enter the picture. The first man is said to come is the Mahdi, or the 12th Imam. His role? To come into our world to slaughter all who don't worship Allah. They, or we, are referred to as pigs or dogs, and will then establish a global domination of Islam to rule over all. He is regarded by the Muslims today as their long-awaited savior, the one who establishes the global caliphate. Anyone who doesn't convert to Islam will be killed instantly by his army. It also states that this army will be carrying black flags that include one word. The word will be punishment. And the first nation they pass through to inflict this slaughter of unbelievers will be Israel, to kill all the Jews, their sworn enemy. Are you getting this yet? If you never before understood why they hate all the Jews so much, you know now it is because of their so-called holy writings to tell them to. And once they complete this, they are to establish their rule in Jerusalem and on the Temple Mount. And if that doesn't get your attention, this will. Before the Mahdi does any of this, he will first establish a peace deal with Israel for a short time, a peace deal that will last for 7 years. Yes, you heard that correctly. And when he comes to the earth, he will come riding a white horse. And then it cites, as it is written in Revelation 6:1 and 2. Incredible? It is all there to be discovered by anyone. Now, if this all sounds very familiar to you, it is because it is a precise description of the biblical description of the Antichrist. That's right, the Bible's Antichrist is Islam's Mahdi, and it was Jesus who warned us of this. Matthew 24:4-5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And this is why I believe that when the Antichrist comes during the tribulation, it will be an Arab from the Middle East that fits their expectation of a savior who is a man of Allah. The second sign, or second person in their end time, is Jesus, whom we mentioned earlier was expected to return from the side of Allah. And it is important to note that this Mahdi is greater than Jesus. And that is important to them, because if you have someone greater than Jesus, then it means all Christians were wrong about him. And this Jesus is coming simply to assist and aid the Mahdi, as a radical Muslim. Now remember, our Jesus warned us in Matthew 24, warning about the false prophets would come. This lines up perfectly with Revelation, because in our Mysteries Uncovered episode, the Unholy Trinity, the prophet that serves under the Antichrist is called the false prophet. And who is this prophet in Islam that serves under their Messiah personified Mahdi? Jesus, their counterfeit Jesus. And it is this counterfeit who will execute the coming of their Antichrist. That brings us to the third and final sign and person. It is Islam's Antichrist according to the Hadith. Muslims call him Al-Masih ad-Dajjal, or Dajjal in short. The evil figure who comes as a great deceiver, comes to earth on a mule. Who does he claim to be according to the Hadith? He claims to be the Son of God. The Hadith have the Gospels and Revelation completely upside down and inside out, a mirror of the truth about the identities of the Messiah and the Antichrist. Our Antichrist is their Redeemer, and their Redeemer is our Antichrist. In the end, the Hadith states there will be a great battle between their Mahdi and their Antichrist, who is actually our Messiah. And this battle matches up with our battle at Armageddon. They say it is then when they destroy the false Jesus and establishes Islam over the earth forever. But we know that the fact is, the real Jesus, our Jesus, the true Messiah, will destroy Islam once and for all at that final battle, and he will establish his millennial reign in his theocratic kingdom of kings as the great king, the Lion of Judah. Take care. God bless. Love you always.